Let's talk about the rarest narcissist in the world, the voyeuristic, covert psychological narcissist. I want to talk about this because I couldn't find any information on this online, and I recently ran across this and had personal experience, and I think that it's worth our time to go through. So, this type of narcissist really flies under the radar. Okay, so this type of narcissist prefers to live in their fantasy world where they can control it. They have usually it's one or two people in their entire life that they obsess about. I mean, fixate on. And this person who's their obsession, within this fantasy world that they live in, they almost like view them like a movie or some sort of like terrarium or whatever it is, but they're able to, control that person. And they're more interested in their obsessions, mental state, emotional state. Like they would rather view your phone to analyze your Spotify history or your Amazon cart versus looking at your nudes. That's how creepy it is. These people cause the most damage, not to their obsession, because they're not violent, and most of the time their obsession never really knows what's going on. They just think, oh, they're a good friend from the past, or we used to date years ago, or whatever. It's very, very damaging for spouses, people that are in relationships with this type of narcissist. And if you've ever wondered, why your husband or wife really spaces out, checks out, glazed over eyes, has an intense obsession with their phone or their devices. And I mean like really, like they would prefer doing that versus anything. They also live very rigid lives. They don't like taking vacations. They like to take the same route home every day. They drink out of the same coffee mug, the same parking spot. They go to the same grocery store. They don't like to have anything deviate from their physical world because they want to have their fantasy world more vivid and more exciting. But their real world has to almost be really boring and flat. But they do quite a bit of damage to their spouses, their children, their families, because they don't provide any sort of, real